Hello, hello, and welcome again after a few moments away from us into a Finest Future webinar. And this webinar will be, of course, shared afterwards. So if you don't make it into the webinar, don't worry. And if you don't have time, don't worry. You can watch this later on. In our social media. There will be links, and you can enjoy the absolutely and impossibly important topic of careers, because that's why we are doing this, so that people will find a career. Brief overview of what's coming for the next like 45 minutes. My name is Jani Vaalima. I'm from Finnish Future, and so is Henri Hirvikoski. Maybe say a little hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
And we have Heimi joining us.
Hi everyone, I'm Haimi. So if there's any questions regarding our programs, what Finest Future is doing, you can always send the questions in the chat box, and we behind the scene we're gonna answer them all. Okay, enjoy.
And of course, we have Tammy on the background helping and answering questions. Say a little hello.
Hello everyone, hope you enjoyed the webinar today.
Yes, our topic will be absolutely important, and we have an intimate gathering today, but it's all fine because everyone can watch the recording, and it is absolutely important to pretty much everywhere, everyone around the world. So we will go into the trends of industries and talk specifically about jobs and how to get into these in-demand jobs in Finland. And then we have a little promotion for an amazing opportunity to join a free online education seminar event by Finnish Future. I will have more information about that. And then we will end once again with a question and answer session, and hopefully there will be questions, but if not, we can then discuss about stuff, things, and issues that uh, usually people ask from us. Finest Future, I will keep this short. Finest Future is all about giving people who are talented and motivated around the world the opportunity to build their own dream into a reality in Finland. And the way we do it is enable the student to apply in the schools in Finland. That, of course, starts with learning the language, the Finnish language. And we teach that to our students. And then they get the opportunity to apply into our schools. And if you study in the Finnish language, it'll be tuition free, and you get access to the greatest education in the world, and thereby you can build any kind of career in Finland, because Finland supports freedom of individual, and you can become pretty much anything you have ever seen in a movie, in a TV show, or read in a book or a comic or heard in a music. You can be an artist in Finland. Like, everything is possible, and we have the best nurturing surrounding for any young and old student to become whatever they want. So this is us. We operate currently all over the world, and we aim to go beyond that. And what that is, it remains to be seen. But basically, anyone, if you are interested for yourself or your children or your relatives or your neighbor or your workmate or someone who could perhaps use a leg up to get to whatever dreams they are dreaming about. In Finland, you will have the security of your own future. And that is what we are all about. Yeah, about Finland, we hop this stage currently into the topic, and we are moving fast today. Am I too late on the timetable? Not too much. So there are trends, of course. What happens in the global industries and certain topics. Everyone might have read about artificial intelligence in the past few years, really. But that is just something that is new. There is always something bubbling up under the surface. And IT and especially the digitalization of industries, especially the traditional ones like manufacturing industries and building like really, really, really big things like infrastructure or cruise ships or something, buildings like that. Digitalization is like finally starting to become a reality. And this, we have talked about the Internet of Things for eons, and while some solutions have worked, others are perhaps not yet in practical level. So digitalization and technology is always in the forefront, and this pretty much links up with the startup ecosystem. In Finland, entrepreneurship is kind of not like a religion, but something that is highly supported by everyone. Because if you have an idea, do it, and that pretty much uh, is supported by the government. We have different kind of programs that teach the basic of entrepreneurship and managing your own work and business and expanding. And we have all kinds of events that enable people to network who are like-minded. Because if you are a specialist in one thing, you need someone who is specialist in another thing, and together you might form a massively successful business. Because no one needs to do it alone, and the collaboration is the key in many many occasion. And the green economy, of course, everyone knows EVs, electric vehicles. It is a big, huge theme in Finland, and uh, mining industry actually will be one of the top industries in Finland in the near future, because our ground is fertile with materials in the deep rock, and underneath what you see, that companies who are building these EVs, they need for their batteries. So that'll be a huge thing in the coming years, and especially if you are a scientist or someone who understands these things, definitely look into getting yourself and your family into Finland. Remote work, of course, that is a global theme. You can work from wherever. And Finland hasn't yet seen any kind of themes regarding getting people back to the workplace, as it's been in many, for example, companies, big, huge companies in the US, where the CEO has sort of like given this ultimatum that everyone should work at the office like the world was before. Because remote working perhaps didn't function for some industries, but in Finland, wherever you can and will be able to remote work, because that alleviates all kinds of work pressure, stress, and enables out of the box thinking, which is absolutely vital for the industries to develop and businesses to grow. And perhaps here we come to our main topic for the webinar, which is skill shortages. And that translates, we need people. And here we will jump into the opportunity where everyone should have their ears open, because this is for you, your children, like I mentioned, your neighbor, best friend, and probably their dog too, if you were a storyteller like myself. Finland is a nation that is aging, which means that due to healthcare, people live longer, and with accompanied by a low birth rate. We are lacking people, and we see this thing today. We've seen this thing in the past 5 years, and we still don't perhaps recognize it nationally how much of an issue it will be. But companies like Finnish Future is and have their eyes on the horizon and see what is coming. So for the next 10 years, we will be there where many countries already are, and they are really stagnant, and their global competitiveness have dropped quite a bit. And in recent studies shows, and this is a bit of a thing to understand here, that 66% of companies involved in the study tell that they are already facing severe lack of professionals. And that doesn't mean that their people are incapable or don't know their way around the tools or whatever. This means that the companies are ready to grow, businesses are ready to grow, but they don't find the right people to help them grow, which means that there is a huge job opportunity in almost every industry in Finland because people are needed, and that is the basics of it. We need people due to these ongoing apparent reasons, and if you don't understand how the situation is gonna go, maybe with all respect, look in the countries like Japan. That is something that they are facing a lot of these same problems, and they are unfortunately for them like decade before, like ahead of us. So Finland still has time, and Finland has need for you, amazing students from all over the world, to learn the language and come here. And yeah, the last bit here of the opportunity slide before Henkka can talk a bit more about the education and how to get started. Learning Finnish language is the crux, is in the center of everything. Because while Finland is an international country, and you can get by with English like absolutely fine, and Swedish language is our second official language. Learning the Finnish language is absolutely key issue in successful integration for anyone. Because imagine if someone would come to your country and they wouldn't speak the language. Then there is like, even though they have jobs or something else, they are still missing out on many great things that make the country. Like Finland, for example, we have been voted 6 times in a row as the happiest nation in the world. So unless you know Finnish language, you might not really understand the bits and pieces to what goes into becoming or maintaining the status of happiest country in the world for 6 times, 6 years. So easiest way for you to get started is with Finnish Future. Learn the language and build a future that you are dreaming today. And that is all up for you to take, for the taking. So maybe Henkka, a little piece about what kind of jobs Finland is currently in demand, and what kind of schools do we have that can get people started?
All right. Yes, we can get started. We have the in-demand, like in every sector of our job market. And way Finest Future is picking the schools is based on the areal needs, of course. And those schools which we picked to be our partner schools are the ones which are already highly suffering of the lack of the students. And that's why they are partnering with us. They are trying to find a solution for the school, and then of course for the job market on that area, but of course all across the Finland also. So that is one of the things when we pick the schools is that we want to make sure that there is in demand in school, also that they have resources enough for the international students for the integration. And like Jani said, it's really important that you learn the language. That's how you can get the full benefits of our society and everything which comes with the language. So, and that is something we have seen already in a history, that the people who come to Finland and know our language are the ones who can enjoy fully about the benefits that Finland has to offer. Basically, that's the case. We can go to the next slide. I think at the same time, there is some of the like the sectors of our job markets. Like Jani said, that IT is a big one. We have in Vuoksi, we have the IT study line, for example. They are in high need of the students over there. Then you have the clean tech. Of course, the health tech and biotechnology is something huge also in Finland. I want to raise up maybe one thing what Jani told is that in the schools, they teach you the basics in vocational schools, how to do the job. But at the same time, they are developing your kind of like a critical eye of seeing things. In Finland, we believe that whenever you have the critical eye, when you do the job and you see that, hey, this is not working, that could be then your opportunity to become an entrepreneur when you know enough and you understand that hey, actually, this can be done better. And then you start to develop your own businesses and set up your own company and start to build on top of your observations about the job life, what there can be better. That's one of the jobs of Finnish education system, to teach you to be critical. That's how the innovations, all of those big innovations in Finland has been done, because we have the people who go through our education system, they have the critical thinking mind. They can think, can I do it better? Or how can I do it differently? Maybe then
Yes,
usually, yeah, go ahead, Jan.
sorry, Henka, I just want to say that I know from my working career there have been many occasions that some people have set up their own company and sold their services to their old employer to get started, and the employer has been happy to support them to purchase the services because they need to make their own processes better. And perhaps if the old employee would have stayed in the company, they wouldn't have the chance to affect the solution that well, but they see also that other companies could benefit from this thing. So absolutely, start, learn the basics, and become a master, and then you can see what is absolutely important and start your own business. In Finland, it's like possibility.
We could go to the next slide.
Oh,
One of the things what usually our students within the language courses ask is that how could I find a job? And the way our education system, especially vocational school, is built so that they are really close relationship with the work life. So now our advantage is that usually if you teach something in the school, like this is how it is, then in 2 to 3 years already, when you enter the job market, the things are way different, because the progress is so fast and there is new innovations and everything. So our education system and vocational schools are highly and really closely linked with the job markets and the companies over there. So then whenever you enter the vocational school, they will help you to find the first internship where you can practice to do the job. Okay, then you are there. You might like it, you might don't like it, then it's up to you. Then when I will give an example of my life. When it comes to summer, and then the schools are over, and by the way, in Finland, we have the 4 weeks holidays. Everybody are enjoying the summer by having a 4 weeks paid holidays. Companies need people to replace the people who are then on a holiday. So they are hiring the students to do the job on the summertime. So there is opportunities for you to go. Then you get paid also during the summer, but then you go to the companies and then you work and you get the experience. You get kind of like your foot on the other foot is already on the job markets. The other foot is still on the school, and that's how the balance is. That then when comes the next internship, you can go to another place to work, or you can go to the same place, and that's how school is really closely in connections with the job market, so that the job markets are telling to the schools what they need, and then the school is building the curriculum so that it will answer the needs of the work life in Finland. So whenever you then are ready and you enter the job market, you have all the tools to be successfully and become a master on whatever you want to do. Is it a doctor, nursing? Is it a cook? Whatever it is. And then, like Jani said, when you're a master and you have the critical thinking, then you can start to think that, okay, hey, do I want to do this? Do I want to go to a higher education? Do I want to found my own company? Whatever, it's then all up to you. But that's how you will, at the end of the day, find your path. And the school is there to help you. That's their job. That's why they exist. They give you the basics and they show you the way, where to go. They ask you what you want to do, and then they show you the way.
Yeah, and to add to Henka's bits of information is that how usually the route towards to work into work happens in Finland is that when you have an internship with a company, it's a good opportunity and a pretty risk-free for them to also investigate you. Like, who is this person? Would they fit our company? And in many cases, and I would wager that in most cases, people who go into practicing into companies most often get hired. Like when the company is already saying that when you graduate, we have a job for you. Or if they are looking at further studies like universities or something, the company might want to give you something extra that you can do in the evenings or weekends. So it's absolutely vital that people get interested in the job sector because the opportunities are there for the taking, which means that you need to put yourself forward and not be afraid. Like if you don't know if there's a bigger discussion, of course, here that should you aim only for the specific industry that you are familiar with. But think about it like this also: when you have the critical thinking, when you are in the position that you can question some routines or something, you can think about selling yourself, your knowledge, your understanding to perhaps a business that is a bit on the sidetrack. Like maybe they could benefit from your knowledge that you have gained in one sector, and this other sector is going without, like altogether. So everyone has to also critically think like where to position themselves when they go forward, because schools love to put people in contact with businesses, and businesses love to contact schools that, hey, we are a business, we make ice cream, we make shoes, we make roads, or whatever, we make something, and they are asking from the teachers and the guidance counselors really that we are looking for this kind of people. If you know the student who have said that I want to be an engineer, I want to be an ice cream maker, I want to be a tailor or something like that, then a teacher can immediately go like, yeah, I know this person, give me half an hour and I will contact him and have them contact you. Sorry. So really,
That's
like it's all about, yeah.
Yeah, I will add to that one. That's a really good one. And then I have a story to you. I was in Vuoksi. I was there visiting, and we went to this building constructor actually, where there was like the empty class. There was nobody over there, only teacher, not a single student. I asked from the teacher like, where are all the students? And the teacher said that, yeah, actually this is the lesson of the third year students, and they are all in the companies with the apprenticeship. So companies, they said that that's what happened when the students are good enough, the companies are already wanting them to work as in a apprenticeship to them. And then also to what Jani said, maybe it's in Finland, it's usual. I faced it, probably Jani, you have also faced it. Whenever a new person, a student goes to a company to internship or apprenticeship or whatever, the first thing they are saying to you is that, hey, you have a fresh eyes. So please tell me what you see. What are the mistakes what we do? Please try to critically think what can we do better, because you see the mistakes. We are not even seeing them anymore because we are blind to it, because we have been working for 10 years already over here. So that's what they tell you. They encourage you to look for the opportunities for them to get better. That's what they love. That's how the Finnish mentality is.
Yes, and people shouldn't be afraid to like point out like this could be done better. And even better if you can then describe how it could be done better and just start to ask the question that, hey, is this something that we really want to do or really should be doing? Like, why do you do this like that? Because you could do it like this. And there is like a lot of tragedy in what Henka said, that a lot of people are blinded by their daily routines and being busy and always overworked because we don't have enough people. So you should come also here due to that. But some people are like 10 years might not be like even scratching the surface. I've been in jobs that, some people have worked 50 years in. That's like most of like more than I've been alive. So I'm not saying that they're blind to the job, but certainly, learning new things. That also makes them excited about their job, even though how familiar they are with it. So we have to support and be creative and be critical thinkers, like what could be the next step of everything that we are doing. And we have
Yes.
here few industries and jobs really, like, which are facing like massive shortages of professionals. And it goes from like all the fields of industries, from rural like farmers. And if you look about technologies that you can apply into farming, and there is this thing called vertical farming that's starting to get hold in Finland too. So definitely, if you have some knowledge in that and come from country where you are far ahead, coming here and starting a company and going to work for companies who are already in this business here, that's like a massively good idea. But just one of these jobs that we have picked here, that we lack people. We are getting old and our babies are far in between. So this is who we are. This is where we are currently. And where we are, our time is, we've gone into the Q&A session, but because we are in a much like a intimate group this time, questions, if there are questions, absolutely we can have them. Just put your hand up or write it in the chat. But I think that, Henka, do you have something that you want to add on this, the school? Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just I missed like the when I was talking with this teacher, and I was amazed like how it is, and then he was just sitting there and cleaning the classroom, and then he said to me, like, he watched me and said to me, like, apparently we have done the job, like we have give the education for the students, and now they are already at the workplace going to working,
Yeah.
and at the same time finishing their studies. So we have done our job. That's basically then the Finnish education system. That sums up our education system, is that vocational school, he was happy to clean up the classroom when no one was there. He knew that the job was done.
Mhm. Our job in this webinar is not yet done, but it will be closing to the end and we can comfortably slide down. In few weeks, on the 13th of next month, there is going to be a huge event which is called Virtual Education Summit, and it will be a virtual one. It will be online, like I mentioned. It'll be a huge online event. And what happens there? Finnish Future brings together schools, our teachers, our students who are in Finland, who are studying online, preparing to come into Finland. And this is for all the interested people around all countries in the world that are considering like where to go, what to do, where to study, where to live, where to find a job, where to find a family, and where to go to get the greatest education. And this event is like a half working day in length. It'll be a lengthy one. There will be many occasions that anyone can ask questions and hear from our partnering schools, Finnish Future, and hear from students and hear from families and ask really the questions that they don't need to be super advanced. They can be, for example, my child loves ice hockey or football or doing crafts or painting or something. Can they continue this hobby in Finland? Because even though our education is absolutely great and massively successful, studying is only like 50% of anyone's free time, not free time, daytime or like waking hours. So equally important things like you can talk to our schools who are joining the event, like what is there near your school? Is there a swimming hall, a library? Do you have taekwondo or do you have movie theater? And stuff like that, that really makes the place or your destination, if you're thinking about certain city in Finland and certain school, it becomes that much more closer when you understand the entirety of the area.
And that's
So
what
there will
Jani,
be.
I will add over here that those are exactly the things what the language is giving you the opportunity to participate. Of course, the Finnish people speak English and you can manage with English, but all those libraries and art lessons and sports and everything, it's way much easier to integrate and find what you love to do on your free time when you have the language.
Absolutely. And the power of the language is absolutely undeniable. And the way that we communicate, and if it doesn't happen, you can usually understand the results aren't that amazing. But if there's not a misunderstanding, or really like if you think that someone comes into Finland, for example, and doesn't feel that they can go to a shop and buy milk, if they cannot do it in the Finnish language, they might be shy about it, and it detriments the whole experience. And there have been many articles in Finnish media about talking to international people and who have immigrated here, who have come here, and they always tell that because some of them haven't learned the language, it's clear that they don't have the best experience, that they are not living the life to the fullest that they can when they learn the language, when they understand the little customs, and when when they can go to the library and talk to the old Finnish people there who might not know English. That is the reality. Even though, like I say, that we know English pretty good, there are like elder people who still talk Finnish and have a massive information about the area that you might want to go to school to. Like they can tell you which places are good for fishing, which places are good, to go to relax or whatever, to have hobbies or something like that. And going into this discussion in the Finnish language, that is the meat of the thing. But yeah, virtual education summit. There will be a huge event, and it'll be a guided event. Definitely go to our homepage. I will show the homepage link perhaps because we have super time. But there is a place that you can register. You need to register for it so that you know that you're coming, and we can allocate enough room in the virtual booths that you can enter a discussion with specific schools, specific students, or whatever. But it's 4 hours long, if I'm not much mistaken, the event, and it will have several sections. There will be several programs that you can click and join in the platform after you've registered. So it is absolutely intuitive. There are like 6 stages and parallel sessions, so you can attend the ones that you want, the ones that you are interested in. And of course, most of it will be recorded, but not all of it. So you should join to come to get all the information that you are interested in. But some of the key issues, key points, will be recorded, and everyone will be able to look at a later date when we start to release the materials in our channels. But definitely, to get the answer you are looking for, you have to come there. You can gain a clear idea what your path in Finland could be like. And even though it's just an idea, you can talk with the not principal, perhaps, I don't know exactly who are joining from school, might be a guidance counselor, but surely teachers. You can ask directly from them that, like, what kind of school do you have emphasis on playing chess, for example, if you are a chess master in your home country and need more challenge. If you are playing volleyball or something, definitely you can start asking the questions, and that makes Finland that much more real, because it is real. It is absolutely real. And sometimes people ask that if Finland is too good to be true, how come this education can be free? It's not free. You have to do it in the Finnish language. There is a price. You have to learn the Finnish language. But after that, until through universities and finding a job, like, that is all up to you for taking. Yeah, I mentioned that in the summit you can meet up students and of course have their experiences. What has Finland been like? And on the website, if you go to our homepage, finishfuture.org, there is the main block. I will actually see if I can share it quickly and show you. So share this tab instead. If you go to our website, there is this blue block that takes you to registration, and it's in Vietnamese language also, but here it's in English. But also it's in the event menu up there, and if you go here, you can find the registration link that takes you to the platform. So register, and also bring your friend, neighbor, mother, dad, sister, brother, anyone who would be interested. There are student stories. These are the latest, newest student stories, and there's a timer and a bit more about what is happening at the event. And there is also a video instruction how to join the event in case it feels like you're not perhaps comfortable, with all the buttons. There won't be many, but just putting your information. But there's a guide that takes you through all the registration part. And there is, of course, the program backbone, like where we are. And there is a massive questionnaire, like why should I attend the summit, and when and where, and cost of the summit. No, it's free. It's absolutely free. So the education summit, it absolutely no money. It's the best price when it's free, and absolutely valuable experience. Coming back
Yes, and
to this
I will.
thing. Yes, sorry, Henka. Yeah.
No, I will just add that it's valuable for all of you, but it's also now when I've been contacting the schools and talking about this, it's really valuable for the schools also to participate over here and hear the questions from you. And so they are also excited to have a direct contact to the people who are wondering whether or not they should come to Finland, because all the schools are on board with us. You should come to Finland. That's just how it is.
Absolutely, because while we are talking about jobs and our companies and businesses are missing people, workforce, employees, the reality is that our schools are also missing students. You will get in. That is, our schools need students, our jobs needs people. So there is like 1 + 1 = 5 in this occasion. So it's win-win-win for everyone, especially you. And perhaps I will, Heimi, do you want to spend like 13 seconds talking about, like, you are there to answer questions? There are not many people here joining, but maybe let's make a little introduction. You did it in the beginning, but yeah.
Before Heimi, you go, I think there is one question I can answer. The question is how your partner schools will support me if I apply through you. So we have a contract with all of our schools, and they will support you. They have the basic guidelines for the start. What do you need? What are the necessary things what you need to have? They are supporting you with those. Moving in, having the bank account and all those things. And then when you settle in, they will still have the support. It depends on you. What do you need? They are there for you. If you need instructions for, let's say, to find a hobby, that they are there for you. If you need instructions to how to go to grocery store, where is the nearest Asian market, for example, or like this type of stuff, then they are there for you. So they have one thing when we partner up with the schools is that we make sure that they have enough support for the students. Then the support can be whatever it is, what you need, but they have. That's why it's safe to go to our partner schools. They have the support. We have the contract with them. We are closely connected with them to make sure that you have all the necessary things there for you when you start your journey in Finland.
Very good. There was a question about, do we have representatives in Vietnam? Why, of course we do. That's why Heimi and Tammy are here. They are at our other main office, which is in Vietnam, and maybe Heimi can tell a bit more about it.
Everyone. And I believe that both me and Tammy already answered to that question. Yeah, we do have an office located in Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City. So kindly contact me via the contact info that was showing on the screen right now so that I can send you the address and also make a reservation whenever you come to the office, because right now we're working, you see, we have two offices, one in Finland and one in Ho Chi Minh City. So yeah, the online work is a lot. So kindly make a reservation so we could be better prepared to welcome you at the office for better consultation.
Absolutely. And I think that because we have a good and intense topic, maybe do we have questions?
We have. I will,
Okay,
I
okay, okay,
will
okay.
read it. I will read it, and you can answer it, maybe, or then I will. Let's see. But I will now read
Okay,
the question.
that's good.
And
Sounds good.
also, can I get support from Finest Future? Right? Do you have a community or something?
Yeah, we do. We actually have a community team in Finnish Future, which is consistent of not only one of the co-founders of Finnish Future, Bambi Dang, and also our Finnish Future students. And we are uh, aggressively developing the community to answer the requirements and needs of our students to service them better in Finland. So through us, you will of course meet other Finnish Future students, and we will help you in many things, like regarding like what do you need to do to get like to come into Finland when you have the sort of diploma, or like when you graduate, when you have passed a certain language proficiency that we are teaching you, then you can apply to schools. And when you are accepted into a school, then you can apply for a residency permit. And we have people that are here for you. We are here for you, and we are helping you forward. If you want to know, for example, what Henkka said, where's the Asian food market? These little questions are, of course, daily to us, but the big question is like, where do I find a home in Finland? Like, where do I live when I study? We have all this information within Finnish Future, and the community is growing, and you too can be a part of that community. And absolutely, yeah. Maybe did I answer it, Henkka?
You answered it right on money. I will just add that now we are developing it all the time. There is over 1,000 students already through Finest Future in schools. So now we get a like the basics of the questions, and we can answer those, and the basic needs of the students, so we can answer those. But of course, when there is more and more students joining and coming to Finland through Finest Future, there will be a new needs, and that's why we have the team, which is then answering of those needs of the students in Finland. There is a new question,
Absolutely.
Jani. I will
Is
read
there?
it.
Read it.
How is different if international students apply to vocational schools directly or apply through Finest Future? Thank you. Yes. Now I will answer this one. So the Finnish education system is highly like respected, and people want to join a Finland. So now what the school is facing, they will get like hundreds of applications from all over the world. And now what they are wanting to know is that, hey, the first things first, do they speak Finnish? And now, before everything, when we are partnering with them and you have the language certificate from Finest Future, you will attach it, and the schools will then see right away that, of course, okay, hey, this student have a Finest Future language certificate. That automatically means that they will interview you. And when you are done with the interview, they will tell you that please come to our school, will you? And then you said yes, and there your journey in Finland begins. So that's the main difference, is our language certificate and the fact that the schools are partnering with us, and they are interviewing all the students who apply to their schools who have the Finnish language certificate from Finest Future. That's why it is highly, and it is like really advantage to have the our language certificate when you apply.
Yeah, Finnish Future is not a partner to all schools in Finland, but there are more than 100 schools, and these are growing every week. And what the schools can do when a student comes through Finance Future, they can relax and understand that our students are motivated and they want to go forward, so they are optimal and ideal students for the school because they want to teach people who are absolutely motivated, so that everyone feels that their work is valuable and the student will get forward. So of course, these are like huge things that we are collaborating with schools in Finland.
Yes, so that's hopefully that we answer the question why you should apply through Finance Future and not directly to vocational schools. Like Jani said, there is other vocational schools, but then we are not sure do they have the enough support or not. That's why our partner schools are safe choice. They have the support for you. And there was thank you for your answers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was an intimate but that much more important topic, and I feel that we will need to visit this topic in the future also, and tell a bit more about new opportunities and maybe involve even a school like to come here and talk about what they do with international students who come, who might have even a degree back at home country, and it might not be comparable in Finland. So they need to do some further studies and give a little practical examples of how to get started and how to come here, because Finland welcomes one and all.
That's that's actually a really good thing because our vocational schools are so-called skill-based, which means that if you have the skills already, when you enter the school, the first thing they will ask you, do you know something about this profession? And if you do, they will tell you that, hey, show it in practice. And when you show it in practice, they will give you the credits. So you don't need to do it anymore. That's, it's useless for you to study something you already know.
Yeah.
So that's why it is really, they highly respect. And we in Finland understand that when you have done the job for, let's say, 10 years, you have already some of the pieces there. So you don't need to study them in Finland when you show it in practice. That could be one topic, and we could have some school with us to tell more about that also in the future.
Absolutely, and this is a huge topic that like not all the schools are like when you have a degree on something, you can you like Henkka described it better. You don't have to study that much in Finland in a good and ideal situation, so you can pretty much like get faster into a job or like get the uh, uh, professional level in Finland. But sometimes the education is so different that you need to do a bit more, even though you have some studies behind you from your home country. But definitely a massively interesting topic. But let's save that for the next one also. No more questions. Thank you for joining us at this intimate Thursday afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are. But also, this will be available like in video format, and we will post it aggressively everywhere because this is a huge topic. Because you are learning the language, so you will get the job that you dream about, that you will like, have a life that is secure, and you can live whatever, you can become whatever you want in Finland. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
How do you say this?
Thank you. See ya.
Bye bye.